So you set up an AI agent, you give it a task, and you walked away. But then when you come back, it hasn't finished the task. Instead, it's done something completely different. Or maybe it's done the right thing, but everything it told you is completely wrong. Or yet again, and this one is a real headache, it's just stuck, running around in circles, doing the same thing over and over and over again, and going nowhere. Well, this is not a bug that will be patched in the next update, but this is how AI agents behave when things go wrong. And they do go wrong. Yes, they do. But there is good news. And the good news is that once you know what to look out for, these problems are completely manageable. Now, you don't need a technical background to spot them, especially when you're using the kind of tools we're using here. You don't need to write code to fix them. You just need to know what's happening and why. By the way, if you haven't met, I am Dr. Ijamando, and I'm here to demystify AI one simple video at a time. So let's get into it. So in this series, we've been building up to something very practical, right? So we looked at what AI agents actually are. We looked at how they think, the perceive, plan, act loop. We looked at the tools that they use, and, we actually built one live on this channel. So we have a video for that. Now we are here at the part that most beginner guides speak. And that is what happens when an AI agent goes wrong. And I want to be clear about why this is important. Now, AI agents are genuinely useful, very useful, and they can save you real time, handle tasks and work in the background while you focus on other things that are of importance to you. But they are not perfect. Yes, and if you trust them blindly, without knowing their failure modes, you'll eventually get burned. And that's why this video is important. This video covers 3 things every agent user needs to understand: hallucination, looping, and bad instructions. Now, each one of them is different. Each one of them has a different fix. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to spot all 3 of them. Alright, so the first failure mode is what we call hallucination. Now, this is not about the agent saying things that are not there. No, it means that the agent produces information that sounds completely correct. It's confident, detailed, well written, but it is factually wrong. Now, the agent will not flag the error for you. It doesn't say something like, "I'm not sure about this." It just tells you something that is completely wrong, as if it were right. Now, here's a real example of what that would look like. For instance, you ask your agent to research a topic and give you a summary of sources. It comes back with a beautifully structured response. It has 5 sources, each one is cited with a title, an author, and a publication year. And then you go to check one of the sources, and hey, it doesn't exist. Wow, what happened? The agent just made it up. Not because it was trying to deceive you. No, but because its job was to complete the task. And completing the task meant it had to produce sources. And so it just went ahead and formulated one. It produced sources, even though it didn't have real ones to give you. Now, this is called hallucination. And it happens with facts, with dates, with statistics, with quotes, with recommendations. Anytime an agent is asked for something specific that it doesn't actually know, there's a risk that it will fill the gap with something that sounds right. But the fix is very simple. You just have to check the output. So not everything, obsessively thinking, "Oh, it's deceiving me." No, but anything that matters to you. If an agent gives you a fact, you are going to act on, a date, a figure, a name, a source. Verify it independently before you use it. You are not checking because the agent is useless. No, you are checking because this is a known limitation of the technology. And understanding how it works, knowing it, means you can work with it instead of being blindsided by it. So the second failure mode is looping. Alright, so this is when an agent gets stuck in a cycle. So it tries to complete a step, that step fails, or it produces a result that the agent doesn't know what to do with. So instead of just stopping, it tries again, the same result. It tries again, the same result, and on it goes until it hits a limit, or runs out of time, or just stops making any progress. Now here's what looping looks like in practice. So you ask an agent to check a web page and pull out some specific information for you and save it in a file. Now this web page has a login wall. So the agent cannot get past it. It tries to log in, it cannot. But instead of stopping and telling you that, it keeps trying and trying and trying, different approaches, but it's still meeting the same wall, the same failure again and again. Or I think we have a subtle version of this same issue. For example, you ask an agent to summarize a document and answer a question based on it. But the question you asked is slightly ambiguous. So the agent produces an answer, but it's not sure of the answer. So then it starts to question its own answer. And then it produces another answer. And then it's not sure again. And then it questions that answer again. And it just keeps going and on and on and on. And it never settles on a response because it can't resolve the ambiguity on its own. Now, both of these are called looping. One is caused by an obstacle that the agent cannot get past. The second one is caused by unclear instructions, instruction that the agent cannot resolve on its own. Now, the fix is different for each one of them, okay? So for the obstacle loops, the agent needs a way to get out. So when you write your instructions, you need to build in an exit strategy for it. You can tell it something like, if you can't access the page, stop and tell me what happened. Now you have given the agent permission to stop. And agents that are not given permission to stop often don't stop. They just keep going and going and going until they run into a limit. Now, for ambiguity loops, the instruction needs to be clear. So if the agent cannot decide, it actually means you have not decided. So it is you that will have to go back to your instructions and be more specific about what you actually want the agent to do so that it doesn't get stuck. So the third failure mode is the one most people don't expect. Yeah, because it's not the agent that is failing here. It's the instructions. So when an agent does something you didn't want it to do, the first instinct is to assume that the tool is broken. Most of the time, it isn't. The agent did exactly what it was told to do. It just wasn't told the right thing to do. This happens in a few different ways, The first is, being too vague. Now, if you say something like, help me manage my emails, it's not an instruction, it's a wish. And an agent giving that kind of instruction has to guess. And when it guesses, it might take actions you didn't expect. It can delete things, it can move things, it can reply things, all based on its interpretation of your manage. Now, the second point is missing constraints. An agent without boundaries will walk to the edge of what it can do. It will keep pushing, it will just keep going and going. So if you don't tell it what not to do, it will do everything it can do. Sometimes that is fine, but sometimes it isn't. So a well-written instruction must include limits. For instance, you can say, only mark emails as read. Don't move, don't archive, don't delete anything. Now with that, the agent knows exactly where the walls are. It knows exactly what to do and not do. Now the third is assuming that the agent knows what you already know. You know your context, the agent doesn't. You know your history with a client, but the agent doesn't. It doesn't know your preferred tone. It doesn't know that one folder is off limits. It doesn't. So unless you tell it, it can't act on any of that. It will just guess. So a good agent instruction is more like a proper brief than a quick request. What do you want to get done? What does good look like to you? What should it not touch? What should it do if something unexpected happens? You need to spell all of that out. And that's it. So you don't need technical language, no. You don't need to know how the agent works under the hood, no. You just need to be specific. Describe exactly what you want, what the limits are, and your agent will be ready to go. Now, here is an exercise for you in this video, all right? I want you to take any agent instruction you have already written. Yeah, it could be from this series that we've been running for the past couple of weeks, or it could be from something you've tried yourself, or from a task you are planning to set up. I want you to run it through what I call the 3-problem filter, right? So you're going to ask yourself 3 questions. And the first question is this. Could this task produce a hallucination? Is there anything in this task where the agent will need to know specific facts, like dates, sources, figures, things it might not have access to? If yes, that is something you need to note down and check when the agent is done. Now, the second question is this. Could this agent got it into a loop? Is there anything the agent might get stuck on? An obstacle that he can't pass, a decision he cannot make because the instruction is ambiguous. Now, if your answer is yes, you need to add an exit. You can tell it something like, if you can't do X, stop and get back to me. Now, the third question is this. Can bad instructions make it go wrong? Is the task specific enough? Have you included constraints? Have you told it what to do and what not to do? If not, then just add one line that sets a clear limit, and that will save your agent. Now, here's an example of what this looks like in practice, right? So before you apply the filter, maybe you have a task that sounds something like this, research recent AI news and send me a summary by email. Well, after you apply the filter, you will get an improved version that will sound something like this. Search for AI news published in the last 7 days. Pull out 3 to 5 stories you think are significant, write a short summary of each one, 2 to 3 sentences each. Do not send anything. Save the summary as a draft and tell me when it's done. And if you can't access the source, skip it and move on. Yeah, so you see, it's the same task, but a completely different level of clarity. The agent now knows exactly what to do, where to stop, what to do if it hits a wall, etc. And that's the brief you can build this week. Try it and let me know how it goes in the comment section. I'll be reading every single one of them. So hit the like button if this was useful to you. It really helps more people to find us on YouTube. And this is one of those videos I think a lot of people need to see before they start trusting agents with real life tasks. So please share that and with your network and let them learn as well. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next video coming up on our channel. And I want you to drop a comment for me below. I want to hear your stories about AI agents. Have you run into any of these problems before? Like hallucination, looping, or an agent that just went off and did its own thing? So tell me what happened. I love to hear your stories, and I'll read every single comment you share with me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.